And I want you to note that intelligence is related to the setting of goals. Goals. And we're going to see in a minute that one of the major reasons for the confusion of black children, one of the major reasons for the kind of educational problems African children have over the world is because we as black adults are not clear about the goals that we want to accomplish as people. Because it is the goals, that we set that organizes and informs intelligence. You see, if you have no goals and no sense of purpose, then there is no organization of the intellectual capacities of your children. We're going to come back to that. You have got to have cultural goals, people. You just can't send your children to school and expect them to learn when you have no real cultural goals and directions and things you want to accomplish. The first thing they ask you is, why am I studying this mathematics? Why do I have to learn this, Mama? Why do I have to read this? And because you have no sense of where you want to go as a people, you're at a loss to tell them to. Well, then get your job. Don't you want to live better than me, baby? That's not going to let people selling crack. You never get there. Why do I have to go through all of this? If this is merely what it's about, you've got to be able to inculcate the children with goals and have a goal orientation in order for them to organize their intelligence. And I'm going to show you, because you have let your future be determined by another people, your children's minds and brains have nowhere to go. And they have no reasons for learning. Period. The other aspect of intelligence has to do with the adaptive. The adaptive refers to the fact that intelligence consists of the ability to solve problems. Keep that in mind. To what? To solve problems. Not to score high on the IQ test. That is not intelligence. Not to score high on the SAT. That's coincidental. But to do what? Solve problems. Solve the problems that confront you as a people and solve the problems that confront you as an individual. I don't care how high you score on an IQ test. If you can't solve the problems that confront you as a people and as an individual, you are dumb. And you will be destroyed. See? And I'm telling you, you've heard me say before that regardless of the level of education of black people, from the PhD level on down, there is a certain fundamental dumbness in the black community. Yes, a dumbness. You talk about the crack dealer. Though he makes his thousands per month, and maybe millions, who still doesn't know how to launder the money, still doesn't know how to legitimize the money, gets raided and the money is stacked up in the closet. Doesn't know what to do with it. Period. But he is just as stupid as a black middle classer who takes that little check and takes every ounce of that check and spends it, giving it to a white man to pay inflated rent and other kinds of stuff. Who will not save, who will not invest in the future of the children or in the future community. The same idiocy, is characteristic of them both. So you have the same dumbness that runs from the highly educated right down to the one right in the street. You're basically no different. Yeah. I was talking to a Buffy one night, and he was complaining about the cars that the drug sellers were selling and the gold and stuff. I said, but really, brother, he's no fundamentally different from you. In a sense, you're just mad because he can buy the car you can buy. Because you're using that card to distinguish yourself in terms of class and, in terms of who you are, in terms of your status. And he's doing the same thing. So you're functionally operating on the same plane. You see? No difference. And you're just angry that he, being in one class different from yours, is able to conspicuously consume the same way you do, and now you're having a hell of a way determining how can you be distinguished from this person here. It's the same game. You're still feeding white people. You're still buying overpriced junk and garbage. You're still imperiling the future of black people. You should study history in its real aspects. Read Barbara Tuchman's history, forget what it's called, of the 14th century Europe. Read that. And I'm not one of these Africans to tell you should only read African history. You need to read European history. You must understand European history. You really cannot appropriately understand African history unless you understand European history. I'm telling you. You can't do it. Because the histories are too inextricably intertwined, one with the other. You only get to know the psychology of the European by reading European history. You will know to a good extent that these great civilizations essentially were based on thievery and robbery and criminal activities. In fact, you can read the personal history of some of our most illustrious families today and quickly run into bootlegging and other kinds of illegal activity that is the basis of their fortune and influence in America today. You must recognize that war is a pretty name for robbing and thieving. Yeah, that's all it is. One country gets a gang together and decides it'll take the product of another country. They call it war. And then they make beautiful slogans and beautiful music to deceive the people so that they can participate in robbing the other people's resources and territories. Realize how many millions of people had to be killed to make this country possible. Understand what I'm saying? You've forgotten, haven't you? You've forgotten, huh? How many people had to be murdered, raped, tortured, robbed, dispossessed? You think you're doing nice, good people, don't you? When you read my new book, you'll see where I talk about European ethics is based on, European criminality. You robbed enough and stolen enough to be nice. That's all it is. If we took that wealth from you, you'd be out here robbing and stealing in these streets like everybody else. You're not intrinsically nice. Don't deceive yourself. Your ethics are bought and paid for. They're not intrinsic within your own character and personality. The ultimate test of one's ethical character is when one is starving and has nowhere to go. Okay? And when one is standing in front of real temptation and you have no money in your pocket. That's when your ethics are tested. Not when you got all the money to work on and you turn out like nice. Come on. We let these people run this game. And they have enough nerve. What am I saying here then? Intelligence then has to do with solving problems. Solving problems. You are not intelligent until you solve the problems that confront whom? You. Yes, you understand? You have let other people define intelligence as the ability to solve their problems, not your own. Their problem. They then call you intelligent when you can behave and think in a way that adds to their power and maintains their position in the world. Then you're intelligent. Then you have good character. Understand? I want you to think about what I'm saying here in a minute. You see? And their measure of intelligence then is intrinsically related to those abilities and ways of thinking that allows them to solve the problems that confront them as a people. Those African Americans then, who are often called intelligent within this system, are what I will call intellectual mercenaries. They are hired guns who then are used to solve the problems of the European corporate system and economic system, political and social system, but who, when confronted with their own problems, cannot solve their own problems. They can fly European shuttles into the space. They can light European ships up on the moon. They can sit on the board, on the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and direct European armies and develop military strategies for Europeans, and yet they cannot run the white man out of South Africa, and they cannot military recruit. They cannot move Africa into the space race. They cannot get our people in a position where we can commercially exploit space and be a part of the expansion of this system into the universe. You are dumb and ignorant no matter what position you have in this society if you cannot solve those problems, ladies and gentlemen. So you got an MBA so that you can be smart and be productive, even better than the white boys and producing for Xerox and producing for IBM and all the rest. But you can't build and take over your own economic systems in Brooklyn and Harlem and the other places. You Africans let these Arabs and these other groups have control of your economy and control of your system. I don't care how much you can go to Cambridge and how many Rhodes scholars you produce and so forth. If you can't solve the starvation of African people, if you cannot move Africa to a position of technological challenge to other powers, if you cannot solve the issue of securing the survival of African people, you are dumb and stupid. I don't care about it. Therefore, you must define intelligence in terms of your own goals, in terms of your own survival. You must organize the thinking of children and the behavior of your children in terms of your own survival, not in terms of supporting the survival of another people. When you organize the intelligence of these children in terms of the interest of another people, you are making your children traitors to your own causes. Colin Powell will direct armed assaults on African nations and African people. And I bet you couldn't get it to organize an army in Africa against the colonial and other forces in Africa. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to look at intelligence. You can't accept this standard definition of intelligence. Screw the white folks' definition of intelligence. You must look at it in terms of what do we need to survive? What do we need to be liberated? What do we need as a people to secure our survival? So in this sense, the intelligence involves the constant active interaction between so-called inherited ability and environmental experience. Really, we're going to see intelligence and environment is essentially one and the same thing. We talk about them for convenience as if they're different things, but they are really one and the same thing. Intelligence and behavior and so forth only can make sense within the context of an environment. Otherwise, they have no meaning at all, no value whatsoever. Yeah, no value at all. You can't separate intelligence from environment. Yeah, or goal orientation or problem solving has no meaning. It only has meaning within a particular context and reflects that context. You can't have criminality where boys kill each other over sneakers in a society that doesn't sell sneakers, can you? No. So in a sense, almost every crime is a social act. Almost every behavior is a social act, you see. defined by a social environment and a social system in which that act takes place. And so is the case with intelligence. In a sense,